Venice is a city located in northeastern Italy and is the capital of the Veneto region. Venice is built on a group of 118 small islands that are separated by canals and linked by over 400 bridges. This video was created to share our experience in Venice with you. This video will discuss health, traditions, transportation, art, St. Mark's Square, and St. Mark's Basilica.
The sea is at the heart of Venice as it envelops the city running through it and influences the way of life for Venetians. Living by the sea or blue spaces can better an individual's mental health and overall health. This can be attributed to the air having less pollution, more sunlight, and increase of physical activity while reducing negative moods and stress. When we first arrived, the ferry and the endless horizon filled with water reminded me of home. It gave me a glimpse of what I wasn't grateful for back home. Additionally, there was another moment. Riding the boat from Venice back to the island with the hotel, the stars were the very brightest that night, and the water the darkest it could be. I felt a sense of relief, a sense of peace that comes in the smallest of moments, but has the strongest of impacts. The cool breeze and one of the memories that I love the most from this trip comes from Venice, and an overall relief in life that I found where I was meant to be. Another thing, the beauty of the Ducal Palace and the beauty of art is one of the best things to have experienced in Venice. The freedom through art and how we find meaning through it is important to being human, really. Art has a positive effect on health and well-being as it allows you to process what you feel and to better understand life from differing points of view. Furthermore, health effects being that it is shown to reduce depression, anxiety, and improves memory. Viewing all the masks and even a man making glass, it really changed my perspective into what makes a city. And it's through all these traditions, the trades passed down, and overall, what the city lives on and breathes on. And so it just really felt like the city was just put together, or rather, filled with life given from everything that it stems from. And it gave the city a happiness that I haven't really seen in any other city. In Venice, art is as vital as the ocean is in the way of life, history, and tradition. On the island of Murano, it is a vital component to the city, as it was described that the glass making only started there because a governing official centuries ago didn't want Venice to burn down due to the large furnaces used to make glass. Now it is a trademark of the island and a tradition passed down from generation to generation.
So Venice is a very unique city as it shares distant views with the mountains and remains predominantly water. As a result, its main form of transportation is boats. Our first one was a ferry boat, and we saw several that trailed behind. And going through our hotels and through each little island, we had to use day passes, which allowed us to get onto these little boats. And it carried around 20 to 35 people at a time. So it was a very interesting experience to just be able to go onto these boats and just go to point A to point B. The conversation that lies here is like, with such a high rise of tourism, what is this doing? Are we not thinking of the water? The water is creating this imbalanced inflow of water that disrupts the continuation of marine life. And it's often not really looked into, but we have fishermen. At some point, I was on a boat and I would look onto the little docks and there was fishermen trying to reel in some type of fish of the day. Do we know their success? No, but that kind of remained as the idea of there is hope in trying to sustain an environmental peace within ourselves of hopefully nature will come back to us.
Wait, why are we going to the opposite side?
Te mamaste.
Oh shit.
Te mamaste, güey.
Nos vamos a ir al cielo.
Did we have to change boats?
Vibes. Me tengo que bañar, güey.
¡Perdidas! ¡Estamos perdidos!
The other point that I'd like to talk to is the art. That's mainly stuck out was advocacy for environmental changes. And literally every single other gallery was just wanting to advocate for better use of natural resources or bringing more awareness to what's actually happening within the city, as we have aqua happening at a higher rate every year. And so one of the pictures that is displayed here shows that. It's a very interesting conversation that I had within myself as well, where I noticed that this is a natural occurring event and people just think of it as a photo op, and it shouldn't be like that because it's more so targeting into capitalism. They're creating these little booties where you can just go and take a picture just because you're in Venice and you are standing in front of, yes, very beautiful structures, but at the cost of what? At the cost of overconsumption, of feeding into tourism, and bringing in an imbalance of culture.
St. Mark's Square, or also referred to as San Marco, was an important part of our experience, and it is unarguably one of the most visited sites in the city. Its history dates all the way back to the 9th century. The square is home to many famous buildings such as St. Mark's Basilica and the Doge Palace, the Museo Correr, and the Basilica's bell tower. It is at the lowest point in Venice, and because of this, when the Acqua Alta occurs, it is the first place to get flooded. We didn't experience that much flooding during our trip. It was very minor, thankfully. The environment here was incredible and surreal. Napoleon once called St. Mark's Square the world's most beautiful drawing room, and I could not agree more. When drawing up an itinerary for Venice, the place you put down first is St. Mark's Basilica. The colossal structure was built in the 19th century and was built to house the remains of its namesake, the patron of Venice, and later it officially became a cathedral in 1807. The basilica is famous for its dominance of golden mosaics, and it is truly a breathtaking sight. St. Mark's Basilica is an iconic symbol of Venice and a true embodiment of the Venetian aesthetic. Our overall experience in Venice was truly incredible and one we will never forget. The history, art, architecture, people, and culture help make this city so beautiful and unique. Thank you for listening.